Hello, everyone. My name is Amol Nirgudkar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism, and we're here on the floor at the Women in DSO event in Las Vegas. And I'm here with my good friend Sina Amiri. He is the Vice President of Business Development at Zentist, which happens to be one of the coolest things going on right now in the dental world. And Sina, such a pleasure learning about this platform that truly is beginning to revolutionize the revenue cycle management process within DSOs and dental practices alike. So, welcome.
Thanks, Amal. Appreciate it.
Uh, Tell us a little bit about what problem Zentist is trying to solve for dental offices or DSOs.
Sure. So when you look at the traditional process as far as managing insurance claims, it's obvious that a lot of practices are struggling with insurance claim follow-up. And even on the submission side of the claim, if you don't have the claims with the proper details and information attached, like narratives and
Right.
x-rays and things like that, they can get denied. And historically, dental practices have often relied on dental billers that are submitting these claims manually, but a lot of times they don't have the knowledge as far as understanding these creative denials that the payers are using.
Right.
And so we thought, what can we do to actually take the tribal knowledge that exists in the industry and start building essentially models, machine learning models, and have some way of developing code, software code that helps automate a big component of the claim submission and follow-up process.
I see.
And so that's what we've been able to do successfully at Zentist. And
Right.
we specifically built a solution to be able to support DSOs as far as being able to scale across multiple locations.
So, what is the current problem that DSOs are having as they grow to 10, 50, 20, 50, 100 offices? What becomes the big blockage or the problem in the revenue cycle management process? Is it just the volume of claims and the denials and the resubmissions? Is it improper billing? What are the big problems that these DSOs are facing?
I think the biggest problem that they face is that as they look to acquire and add practices,
Right.
oftentimes it's difficult for them to find the right staff that has the necessary billing training.
Right.
And even when they do find that person, what they're looking to do is for every practice that they acquire, they want to be able to have some economy of scale when it comes to dental insurance billing. And
Sure.
unfortunately, if you're doing things manually, for every practice that you're buying, you're having to add, let's say, two billers.
I see.
Right? And so the cost is going up linearly.
Okay.
And there's no economy of scale achieved if you're just throwing more people at the problem. And this is where having a platform that gives you visibility,
Right.
not only on what's happening with claim submissions, getting data from the clearinghouses, but also giving you that central view across all your practices, irrespective of the practice management software that you're using, is key.
On an average, I'm assuming that Zentist could potentially reduce labor costs by 50%.
Yeah, it depends on I would say the DSO and what their payer mix is.
Right.
But the other thing that we like to focus on is how do we make your existing RCM department just much more efficient and
Right.
have them focus on the parts of the RCM process that require creativity, right, and leave the repetitive tasks
To the
machines, essentially.
Right. I mean, that's it, right? That's where the evolution of AI is to really take away things that a human does not need to do because it's repetitive, it's predictable, and give that to the machine. So you need less humans to do that, but it's also more accurate because machines are more predictable
That's
in
correct.
doing those repeatable tasks without getting tired or without all that stuff.
Exactly.
But the visibility is also important because what we've noticed is that if you can provide these organizations with clear-cut visibility on what's going on across all their offices and where the problems are, then it's much easier. You can fix them quickly before it becomes like a 90-day issue. And when it becomes a 90-day issue, then you have bigger problems, right?
You do, and what's amazing is the number of DSOs and dental groups that come to us and say, we have an aging problem, meaning our AR is just ballooned.
Right.
And as you know, past a certain number of days, it becomes really difficult to
Right.
get payment from these insurance companies. And so we try to solve that problem as far as making sure it never gets to that point where you're having to write off, right, a big component of this potential revenue.
Right.
And then the other thing that it affects is your doctor associate compensation. So
Right.
if you're not collecting, what you're owed from the insurance companies, oftentimes the associates are being paid on collections
Right.
and not production.
Right.
And so how do you retain that associate
Right.
if you're not great at collecting the money from the payers. And we've noticed increase in associate retention, when we get involved, because we are able to actually show the DSO how to be able to communicate with that particular associate as to why they have a high degree of confidence in being able to collect for them, right? The other thing that we're really excited about is if you're currently downloading the explanation of benefits at EOB from the payer portals, we've created bots that log into the payer portals, and they download the explanation of benefits, and we're also pulling ERA 835 data from the clearinghouses. And so historically, you had to assign a team member to be able to call the payers. When you call, you're limited to the number of inquiries that you can make, and you're stuck in these call queues.
Absolutely.
And so eliminating that time allows the front desk staff to spend more time with the patient. Perhaps there's patient AR that requires follow-up, right? So let's focus on that, because you have a relationship with the patient, and it's better for you to manage that relationship than for Zentist to do so.
Absolutely.
And so this is where focusing on the insurance AR frees up the time for the staff to focus on the patient portion.
And I talk about this a lot, I think it's time for us to leverage technology in dentistry so that we can enable our team members to spend more time with the most important person in that office, which is the patient.
Absolutely.
Right? The more you want to build a relationship with your patient. Having you on a phone with the insurance company doesn't build a relationship with the patient.
No, it does not.
Does not build anything. Actually, the patient gets frustrated because everybody's too busy out there in the front trying to figure out all the paperwork and the insurance stuff and everything else that goes around while the patient's being ignored, right? Let's make patient at the centerpiece of the dental office. Let's spend time with them. Let's earn their trust so that they accept the treatment that's going to change their life, and let technology handle some of the things that you don't need to handle. And I would want to congratulate you guys for attempting to solve an almost impossible problem that 5 years ago we would have never thought what you guys do. But technology, AI, machine learning has enabled you guys to really, really tackle this age-old problem and really bring it to light so that our industry can continue growing. So congratulations, Sina, and your entire team.
I really appreciate the opportunity, Amol. Thank you.
Thank you.